What's going on, EDL? What's going on, Dan? Long time no see. How we doing, buddy?
Oh, fantastic.
We had to come back. Playoffs. We are in playoff time already in the EDL. So the little playoff preview show here today. We got a lot of things to talk about, to cover. Got some notes down, just recapping the season, and we're gonna look at some matchups. Dan, you ready? Are you ready for this?
I am.
Good. First thing we're going to talk about is tiebreakers. Tiebreakers I put in the thing and said I believe it is all play, head-to-head, total points. That's correct. As we see at the top of the screen here, we do have the playoff schedule in there already set up, and I think everything reflects that setup, and I don't have to manually do anything. Toilet Bowl starts next week. That one will go up too, as well as the other playoff brackets for third place, whatnot. But we made it. We made it all the way to the playoffs. Good luck to everyone. The other thing, trade deadline and free agency deadline has been brought up a few times in the chat. Went back, looked at the polls, the stuff we talked about, and there was no hard set date time, but I think it makes the most sense to do midnight on Saturday. It would be last time you could pick people up, so that would also be the trade deadline, both of them working together. So we're just going to call it midnight then.
Is there a Saturday game?
Yes, I think there's two this week.
So do we want to? So you're talking about it ends like Friday at midnight or Saturday? Because you probably want the trade deadline done with once the playoffs start, right?
Yeah, yep. Before that. You just can't trade guys that have already played. Let's just say, like, this is the final week. If they play, you can't trade them. Seems to make sense.
Oh, because we do have a Thursday. Wait a minute. What's the date today?
It's Wednesday, the 9th. Yeah, there's a Thursday game.
Yeah, we do have a Thursday game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You want to trade your guys, get them done with. So I'll post that in the chat, too, in words, in case people don't watch this, but I know everyone's going to tune in. I don't think there's any other real big topics. Obviously, the website's not caught up. All of that is done on the transactions. I can go back and look at everything that's been bid, everything that's been dropped. It just adds more work to me, but we'll get it caught up. But I don't think there's any other big topics this week in the chat. Do you remember anything, DZ? Or is that it?
No.
All right, let's talk about the league. First thing I wanted to cover was just kind of take a glance a little bit back at kind of like just what's gone on. Look at the Survivor. Rupp won the Survivor back in week 8. I don't know if we did a show for that, so good job, Rupp. As we can see, the the golf clap, the confidence polls, this goes all the way through week 17, so make sure you're with it. But the top two people, we have Jerome and Pete, are 2 points off. It looks like there's two other people that's still doing it. Robbie and Edwards a little bit behind, maybe if they drop a week, or maybe you just catch back up. There's still time to do it, but that we do have a tight race for the EDL Bucks at the end, and all that's awarded at the end of the season. Nothing. Rupp has not been paid yet for the Survivor pool. Look at some record stuff. Some records that happen. I got some notes on my phone. We talked about when we were doing shows, 3 owners started off the year pretty damn hot. First time we ever saw 3 5-0 teams. Seward, Pete, and Rupp all did well. They finished the year. Pete's 13-1. Rupp and Seward are both 11-3. Pretty impressive. We have 4 teams, and so they have those 3. We have 4 teams, kind of a top-heavy year. My team is 10-4. This is the second time ever that there's been 4 teams that have at least double-digit wins in the playoffs, so kind of a top-heavy league. Pete being 13-1 ties for himself his 2018 season for the best regular season record at 13-1. Only happened twice. Still no perfect regular seasons. Let's see. Couple record streaks going into the history book here as we look down at the histories. Rupp had a 7-game win streak to start the year. So he will be. Where are my record streaks? Right here. So Rupp makes it in there, but Pete is also on an 8-game win streak right now. So Pete is also making himself in the record book. And DZ, you get in the record book too, my friend. 13 losses. Is it 13? Yeah, 13 losses is the biggest winless streak. But you did avoid not losing every game and kept your never again Rupp captainmanship alive by getting the win there. But you will be in the record books as well. Let's see. Pete finished the regular season with 3,485 points right here, as we can see at top of the power rankings. That is the third most ever in EDL history. Pete got that done. Rupp with 3,233. He finishes 8th all time. And Dan, another one too. Little side note I was looking at. You did have a tough year, as we know. Your points against was the third most all time. So you had the third hardest schedule ever in EDL history.
That's the only reason I didn't make the playoffs. Dude, what are you guys doing? You guys are stupid. Don't waste your good weeks against me. You just need a half-ass effort, unless you're Rupp, and you get the win.
So that's just some notes of the players, the record streaks, whatnot. We know Pete and Rupp did very well, so Pete got a handful of shout-outs. As deserved, his team's freaking looking like the number 1 seed front runner as of right now. You know, playoffs, anything can happen, but we did have some good regular season finishes to Pete himself. Rupp got in there too, Seward, whatnot.
Real quick, let me cut you off. Let me ask you a question. Pete or the field?
I think if Pete loses to anybody, it's an upset. So
of course, yes.
I got to take the field because I'm in there. But
you ain't got to.
I'm glad I'm on the opposite side of the bracket. We can look at the bracket too.
Yeah, dude. I think this is something we need to discuss in the offseason. I think reseeding needs to be a thing. The NFL does it. We need to do it as well.
Reseeding,
but it's something we could obviously going to talk about in the offseason, but. I'm pushing for it right now. Reseeding in the playoffs needs to be a thing.
All right, we'll talk about that. Let's get into some more player records, player things that happened. Just a few weeks ago, my boy Tyreek Hill, we saw had a monster day.
In the first quarter,
57.9 fantasy points was our high for the year. 13 catches, 269 reception yards, and 3 TDs. DZ, not only was that the highest score this year, that was the highest score ever from a wide receiver in the EDL history. Tyreek Hill, they got it done this year, so that's pretty cool.
And I remember, wasn't too long ago that some people in the league, Jerome, maybe P, I can't remember, thought he would never play snap again.
I believe pretty much I was worried. I was worried, so I'm not going to lie. But Tyreek Hill puts his 57, blah, blah. That also lands him at 6th all-time ever. For whatever reason, it doesn't sync up for just the past 2 years are on this site, and you have to go back 3 years to see everything else. But that's 6th all-time ever. Dalvin Cook was the number 2 scorer here.
Were we just here to talk about your team or what?
Definitely. No, we got some other stuff. But 54.6 also puts him in the top 10 at the number 10 spot all time. The 4th highest running back score. So Tyreek Hill and Dalvin Cook both cracked the top 10 scores all time this year. Side note, Tyler Lockett, the only other receiver to crack 50 points this year, I believe. And that puts him, he had 53. And that he is the 2nd highest EDL receiver ever. So I thought that was also kind of impressive. Tyler Lockett this year, where the hell's this game? Right here, 53 points. We remember that one. 15 for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, very similar to Tyreek's. 2nd one ever. There's only been 2 other receivers in the history of the EDL to crack 50 points. Can you give me 2 guesses, Adam DZ? 2 receivers to crack 50 points. in the
Calvin.
EDL. Calvin is one of them. That's pretty good. That was 2000.
Well, he had like 329 yards in a game.
2013, he got in there. One more guess.
Wait a minute. You said only how many did you say?
There's been 4 total now, but Tyreek's 1, Lockett's 2. 2 other receivers have cracked 50 fantasy points in EDL history. One of them is Calvin. You already got that right. There's one more.
I'm going out of just stupid guess here. Jordy Nelson.
That's wrong. I don't know what his high is, but Julio was the other one.
Oh.
So Tyreek, Tyler Lockett, Julio, and Calvin in that order is the top 4 and only receivers over 50. What else do I got here? 45 points last week from Darren Waller over there on Casey's team. That's the highest tight end score ever in EDL history. Ever. Just happened. We didn't even really realize it. Gronk and Ertz are 2 and 3, but also 4th was also this season Kittle. I don't know if he had 40 points. So I think those are the only times the tight ends have cracked 40. But both Waller's number 1 and Kittle make their name on that list. Just kind of little side notes. Quarterbacks was a down year. Mahomes had the highest score with like 48 something. But that put him 20th all time in the quarterback rankings. So we didn't see one. We haven't, at least the regular season, we haven't seen a quarterback this year really light it up. Here's the Aaron Rodgers one. Or was I wrong? I said Mahomes. No, that's from 2019. So yeah, we don't even have 20 up here. Anyways, yeah, Mahomes was the top scorer, puts him 20th all time for quarterbacks. Nothing really too impressive there. Some random stuff, DZ, before we get into the playoff preview. The highest combined score this year was against Rupp and Matt in Week 12, 540 points. That's 18th all time. Rupp and Matt were in a slugfest there. I think Rupp got that one. Edwards handed out the 2 biggest ass whoopings of the year, 2 biggest beatdowns. Week 11 against Jerome, he won by 139.7 points, 9th all time. And in Week 6, he beat you, DZ, by 128.1. That's 15th all time. So Edwards got the SmackDown award this year. Let's see what else. Edwards is actually all over here. Edwards is also part of the closest score this season, but he lost by 0.3 to Matt. Little refresher. I
thought you got stat corrected on that.
It's a loss. He got a loss week 3.
Corrected.
Week 3, that was the 3rd closest all time. We've actually had a 0.1 loss before, long time ago. Edwards was also in the 2nd closest of the game, but got the win over Casey. That was 1.4 in Week 8. But DZ, that's what I got. Just some random stuff from the teams where they landed in the history. I know we got all these record books. People can go back and look through themselves. But, that way they can hear it and they don't got to go do all the research. But a lot of good seasons, a lot of good people.
Real quick, I just want to add some notes that I was kind of browsing around that I thought was interesting. We all know that the EDL draft is very, very important. And just a couple guys who nailed it this year, we look at running backs right here. Brian Rupp has 3 running backs in the top 14 that were the top 3 rookies. He has the top 3 rookies on his team. And they're all in the top 14. James Robinson, number 4. I don't even know if he was drafted. If he was, it was really late. Antonio Gibson was probably had to have been a 2nd-round pick there on that one. And then if you slide over to the wide receivers and you look at what Pete did this year, he's got the number 7 receiver in Justin Jefferson and the number 20 receiver in Chase Claypool. This guy's absolutely crushed the draft, and that's why they are where they are.
That's a good little shout-out to them. Just looking, Rupp took James Robinson, 7th round, 11th pick.
Bro, he went like this, bro. You know what it was? He was probably the last fucking running back on his list, bro. Didn't even know who the fuck he was, guaranteed. So I'm going to give him credit, and then I'm going to diss him.
No, I'm going to take it away. Yeah, good picks by them. Definitely helped out this season for both of them. You want to talk some matchups, DZ?
No.
Okay, well, we're going to do it anyways. We're going to start out at the top. Get our picks. Let me get another screen. I know there's one. It's like who plays who? Franchise, who's the starting lineups? Weekly result. No.
We have like
just previews? I feel like I don't like this screen.
Yeah, they're in. Fantasy previews are in.
Who should I start?
Probably the top game.
I feel like there's one. There's
Is it not the same on yours? I got Rupp and at Casey.
That's fine. We can start with them. No, that's the same one as mine. I was looking for a different screen. It doesn't really matter. All right. Casey and Rupp. As looking at these, we got Casey, Rupp, Tito and Pete, Edwards and Seward, and me and Robbie. 3 of the 4 are division games. So we're gonna have teams that have seen each other for the 3rd time this season. Kind of interesting. But the one we're starting with here is Casey and Rupp. That is our one non-division game. Only time they have matched up in the playoffs was 2012. Rupp beat Casey, so they haven't seen each other in a long time in the playoffs. Rupp is 6-3 against Casey in the regular season, just career. Won the past 3 matchups, but Casey won the 3 matchups before then. That was a long time ago, but a little history of those two. Playoffs, Rupp's the clear favorite, I would say. I think we're going to have probably 3 clear favorites and then 1 close one. What are Casey's chances here for an upset, DZ?
I mean, I don't want to be, called a hater in the chat or anything. I'm going to try to just put the camera on this real quick so everyone can see. Does everyone see this ginger faux hawk right here? Look at this, dude. Why is Andy Dalton featured on this preview here? But damn, what a magnificent ginger faux hawk that is anyway. Just because of the faux hawk, man. I'm going with Casey in this one.
You're going with Casey?
I'm taking Casey with the upset because here's the deal. I can't have Pete beating Rupp because I have a bounty out on Rupp, and Pete collected last year's bounty on Rupp. And so what do I buy? How much beer do I have to buy Pete? I mean, I don't want Pete to be too smashed this next draft. Hopefully we're live and in living color. So I want to bring something for Casey too, his drug of choice, whatever he wants, dude.
Whatever. I hope Casey wins for that matter. I'm gonna stick with the favorite Rupp. I did look at Casey's matchups. God, did I like Zeke's matchup? What does he have? The Bengals? God, I feel like I looked at a couple of them and I was looking at
it's
Dallas.
The Bengals.
Yeah, I guess so. He's got the Bengals. Andy Dalton going against the Bengals. He's got a lot of Cowboys.
Have Dalton in?
Right now, I mean,
like, didn't he even put Tom Brady in? Right? I don't even
think
know.
So. Tyler Boyd's against
leave the Red Rocket
Dallas.
in. Let it go.
Who's Waller playing? The Colts? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if Casey can get that one done. I got Rupp. Let's move on to our next one. A division matchup. Tito and Pete. Let me see. I have like 2 notes down for this one. Only time they matched up was in 2017, and Tito got the win. I believe Tito was in the league back in 2017, but that's the only time these two have matched up. Since then, Pete is 5-1 against Tito. Last time Tito's beaten Pete is in 2019, week 5. What are we thinking for this? Pete's favored by 64.
Just move on, man. We know. Everyone knows.
I wonder if it's gonna. I wonder how Tito feels about seeing Mahomes in the playoff. He had the chance to never, ever, ever see Mahomes in the playoffs, and he let it. He gave it away. He gave it away. I wonder if Mahomes is gonna come out here and blow up. It would be fitting.
The QB he's got in that trade is not even going to be playing for him. So.
Yeah.
Fucking got shit on last week, bro. They better not do that again against the Falcons, man. Or it's going to be a short day for Tito. A bad day. Double bad day.
Herbert, yeah. What was it bad last week? Let me look real quick.
They got to beat
4
45-0.
points. All right, yep. All right, let's move on. If you beat Pete, it's an upset and definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Feather in your cap. We got our next matchup, Edwards and Seward. And as we all know too well, and Seward knows even better, Week 14 is a doozy, is a sumbitch. But Seward is 0-6 in Week 14. One of those losses coming to Edwards. Seward and Edwards' lifetime record is 9-9 against each other.
Damn. Grudge match.
Seward is 8-2 over the last 10, so Seward's definitely had his way lately, but Week 14 is still here. Is this the year Seward gets out?
Seward has to get out, man. I don't want to see my best friend that I don't see ever, but still great friend, quit this league, man. So you better fucking win. Do not quit this league if you lose, but just win. Just win. It's only Edwards.
Yeah, it's just Edwards. That's it. You can agree to let's see. We got to make a pick. I got to look. Has Le'Veon Bell getting more carries?
No, not really. Just only because Clyde Edwards had like a flu or some kind of shit last week. So he was active, but he didn't. I don't think he played. He didn't have a carry or anything.
Gosh.
What does that even matter though? Le'Veon Bell didn't do shit.
Yeah, no, I was just trying to do. I got Seward here. I think you never know in this one. Playoffs, anything can happen. We've seen number 1 seeds lose. We see favorites lose all the time. Playoffs are a gauntlet. You got to win 3 games in a row if you want it all. I think I got Seward coming out of this one.
Seward's gonna get a win finally. It's got to happen eventually.
It's going to happen eventually. All right, I got Seward here. And then we got the last matchup, mine and Robbie's, which I think this one will likely be really freaking close. We saw Robbie this week make a trade to add some players, add some talent with you, gearing up. And then also Rupp did the same thing, gearing up for the playoffs, shoring up his defense. Robbie made some moves, man. He brought in Juju. He brought in Corey Davis. Tanyan. So even that, like, just I got Rodgers, there's a chance that like maybe Tanyan is the guy that catches all the touchdowns that could fuck me. Definitely not like thinking I'm going to blow him out of the water. Robbie's team's been pretty good. I know Derrick Henry has a matchup I don't like, the Jaguars. He's got Corey Davis and stuff there too. Who's Seattle got? The Jets. Like I feel like Robbie's in good shape. I like my team. I think we've been playing good. I'm obviously going to go with myself. Robbie's favored to win by 9 right here. Well, this is going to be a good one, Robbie. I'm excited.
I got you favored by 2.1.
Do you? I'll take that. I actually have 0 right now for Curtis Samuel. So he still got COVID. Maybe he'll come back. But I think I got a chance. I think it's gonna be tough, but obviously I want to get it done, so I'm gonna go with my squad.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take Robbie to spite you and be an asshole.
That's fair enough. Should be good playoffs. I'm happy we all made it. Thanks everyone for being a part of the COVID
Wait.
fantasy COVID.
You're happy we all made it? What do you mean we all made it?
Just past no.
I didn't make it.
I guess so. Making it like the league made it, the NFL made it.
Okay.
We were carried along with that. We didn't have any stalls in the season. All those trades we did before the season that I was just like, God, this sucks. None of them are gonna matter. Everything's everything and moving forward, so that's good. We got the playoffs. Toilet Bowl starts up. Pro Bowl's week 17 or the All-Star game between the divisions, so we'll get more on that. We'll probably come back and do these for
it's gonna
the
be
playoffs.
really hard to get 4 players off my team.
Anything else, DZ?
Just to give this to Seward for me. Fucking win, dude. Win.
EDL, the greatest ever, realest fantasy league out there. We'll catch y'all next week, I think.